Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the most chaotic, creative, and, let's be honest, often wasteful places on Earth, the kitchen. From your own pantry at home, all the way up to a high-pressure five-star restaurant, kitchens are getting a serious tech upgrade. And it's all thanks to some incredibly tiny, but super powerful little chips.
So let's start with the big problem. Kitchens, whether they're in your house or in a massive restaurant, have always struggled with one huge fundamental issue: a lack of real-time information. They're basically flying blind. If you don't know exactly what you have, where it is, or when it expires, waste is pretty much guaranteed.
Just think about that for a second. What if? No more of those panicked, last-minute trips to the grocery store because you forgot that one key ingredient. And for a restaurant, it means no more having to tell a customer, sorry, we're out of your favorite dish. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the exact problem that a whole new wave of tech is setting out to solve.
And listen, this isn't just about convenience. As you can see from these challenges, which come straight from industry analysis by Solem ESL, this information gap is a massive financial drain on businesses. Manual errors? That leads to ordering way too much, or even worse, not enough. A lack of real-time data means food literally spoils on the shelf. It is a constant, expensive battle that's being fought with, clipboards and spreadsheets.
So, how do we fix this giant information gap? Well, into the hero of our story, the Internet of Things, or as you probably know it, IoT.
And that central nervous system analogy? It is perfect. Think of IoT as giving every single object in your kitchen, every shelf, every container, every appliance, the ability to sense what's going on, and then talk to each other about it. All of a sudden, the kitchen has a voice, and it can tell you exactly what's happening inside.
And once the kitchen starts talking, believe me, everything changes. According to analysis from DKSH, this tech brings four huge transformations. First, you get real-time visibility into your stock. You can automate all your ordering. You can monitor food temperatures for safety, which is huge. And maybe most important of all, you stop guessing and you start making decisions based on actual hard data. The kitchen goes from being reactive to proactive.
Okay, this all sounds amazing, right? But what's actually making it all tick? To understand that, we need to zoom in from this big idea of IoT down to the tiny piece of hardware that acts as the brain for all these smart devices, the microcontroller.
And if you've ever spent any time on tech forums, you've probably seen this exact question pop up. It gets right to the heart of the matter for anyone building these systems, from hobbyists to pros. It's a real debate about which tiny brain is the best one for the job.
So before we get into the showdown, let's just be super clear on what we're even talking about. A microcontroller is basically a whole computer on a single tiny chip. It's small, it's cheap, and you can program it to read sensors and control things. It is literally the smart in any smart device.
All right, so let's put these two head to head. The Arduino is a legend for learning electronics. It's simple, it's tough. But for an IoT kitchen, you need connectivity. With an Arduino, you have to physically add on these extra pieces of hardware called shields just to get Wi-Fi. The ESP32, on the other hand, it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built right in. It's also way more powerful and has these amazing low-power modes, which are perfect for sensors that run on batteries. For modern IoT, the ESP32 is really the clear winner.
Okay, so we've picked our tiny brain, the ESP32. Now let's see how this thing actually goes from a project on someone's workbench to running some of the busiest commercial kitchens on the planet.
And what's so cool about this whole thing is that this revolution isn't just happening in some corporate R&D lab. Nope. It starts in garages and workshops, and it's driven by this incredible community of makers and hobbyists.
Take this project, for example, from Hexter.io. It's called the DRS-enabled smart pantry. Now, DRS is just Amazon's system for automatic reordering. So what this person did, using an ESP32 and some simple sensors, is they built a pantry that knows when you're low on flour and then automatically orders more from Amazon. It's the core idea built by just one person.
Now, take that simple, powerful idea, a shelf that knows what's on it, and just imagine blowing it up to a massive industrial scale. Well, that's exactly what commercial kitchen management systems are doing.
Companies like Soupy and Revolution Ordering offer these platforms that are basically that DIY project, but on steroids. We're talking real-time tracking across thousands of different items, automatically generating purchase orders to suppliers, and even analyzing sales data to see which ingredients are flying off the shelves. It's the same core technology, just applied at a massive scale.
And the results? They're not just small improvements, they are dramatic. Case studies from companies like MarketMan and CrunchTime show a huge impact. The time that staff spends manually counting inventory, it plummets. Food waste gets slashed, and order accuracy goes through the roof. I mean, the data doesn't lie. This technology absolutely works.
Okay, so the kitchen can now see everything, and it can report back on what it has. That's already a huge leap forward. But what's next? Well, the next step is to give the kitchen the ability to not just report, but to think.
You can really see the evolution here, right? We went from just manual guesswork with a pen and paper to the kitchen collecting tons of data with IoT. The final step is adding a layer of artificial intelligence on top of all that data to unlock some serious predictive power.
And this is where it gets kind of mind-blowing. Platforms like 5out are showing how AI can take all that IoT data and start making incredibly smart predictions. It can look at past sales, the weather forecast, maybe even local events, and predict that you're going to sell a lot more soup on a rainy Tuesday. It can even suggest running a special on chicken wings because it knows you have a surplus that you need to use up. The kitchen isn't just smart anymore, it's becoming intelligent.
It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? As AI and IoT take over all the logistics and the tedious management of the kitchen, it definitely frees up humans to do what they do best. But does the creativity, the passion of cooking, will that remain uniquely human? Or will it? That's something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.